once again made to the first place, but the stages will definitely get longer as you go on. As you could see, the first stages were like around the 200, 300 mark, and these ones are getting closer to the 400 mark on the little progress bar. But after all, they will be getting pretty much to 600, which is... Nope. Pretty much... Stop blocking my view, you bloody flying robot piece of... Bleh. But yeah, after all, they get around 600, which basically has a progress bar from the start of the SLD thing to pretty much the FPS meter. So it gets interesting after all. It gets pretty difficult after a while as well, but the first like 6 stages or so are pretty doable once you get used to the controls, because the controls are definitely one of the hardest parts of this game if you don't know them, and once you do, it's... Yeah, it just makes everything so much easier. It's kind of like that for every game, but for this game, so much more. But yeah, we are currently flying around in an outside world. The music changes per course. As I mentioned, there are 3 stages per course, and those 3 stages will have the... or it's 3 courses per stage, I'm not entirely sure, but whatever. The music will change between these 4 stages or courses, basically, but... I don't really find the music all that bothersome. It's really, it's kind of generic, in my opinion, and I think they could have gone with some different instrument choices here and there, but overall it's not bad, and the World 3 music I actually quite like, so hey, there's some redeeming factor about this game, I guess. But I guess that's just me. There's some fish flying around here. If you bump into those, your ship will come to an immediate halt somehow, because apparently those are giant monster fish, although... No, screw it. I just want to show World 4. And World 4, I mean World 2. I don't want to show World 4. World 4 is kind of barren, but this is kind of messy. I like how the stage that you have to follow... Oh, yeah. There's one more thing I forgot to talk about, actually, but let's just keep one subject going for a change. I like how the stage you have to go with, like, the gray stuff kind of dissolves into the level. And you see all these weird triangles and stuff, and this is actually what the game looks like. I am playing it on an emulator, I have to admit, but it does look like this, basically. But, which brings me to another point, actually. In a few mountainous areas like this, you have to kind of drive to the right constantly, but because for some reason, some kind of magical gravitational force is pulling you to the left. And once you get pulled off the stage here, you have to basically go down as far as you possibly can in order to get any speed at all, because your speed will just drop to 0 basically. And if you don't know that, you're going to be stuck. You're going to yell at the game because it takes way too long to start the new race, because once the opponent finishes, it's a game over and you get to start over again. But sometimes when you fall off the stage in one of these gravitational type zones, the timer doesn't actually go down, so you have to wait until the enemy actually makes it to the end of the stage, which can take like 5 minutes or something. Which is not very interesting in this place, believe me. I mean, driving is already somewhat of a chore. I mean, everything just looks like... Ugh. Hello tree, I'm gonna drive through you because I am a flying motorbike with wheels that don't spin. But yeah, if you have to wait for 5 minutes, then you'll find out how boring this game really can be. As I mentioned before, if you miss the goal in the game, by the way, in the level, then you have to somehow turn around, which is a lot more difficult than it sounds, really. You have to turn around and then go back and hit the goal again. And that's actually another reason why I chose this character. I tried it with Barbecue once, and I screwed up at the end of the stage, and the enemy was like half a bar behind me in terms of progress. And by the time I turned around, the opponent had already made it to the end of the level, so this one's just so much quicker, and the extra distance you get is just wonderful in case something bad happens. It's just kind of risky in the later stages, and this was actually the end of the first course, so hooray! We're going to go to the second course now, or second stage, I don't know. No, second course, no. Second stage. Learn speaking lessons, please. Yes. Stage 2 course. What's wrong with my speaking today? I don't know. But this is definitely my favorite stage. The music is quite cheerful, which I quite like personally. But there's just one simple, amazing fact, and that is that there are giant, and I do mean giant fish here, with the most ridiculous looking eyes I've ever seen, and I absolutely adore them. They are just so bloody adorable. And I want one. You are racing, I'm pretty sure you're racing against Kuga in this one. Kuga or... yeah, it's Kuga, definitely. And, well, the Kuga is actually the name of the car, but that's not important. I mean, really, who gives a crap about these characters in the end? So, but yeah, we're driving against the Kuga in, driving against Leo, I believe his name was, in this little area. And there's a few things to look out for in these levels. One, well, obviously, are the giant fish. Two are the clams, because they also have quite big eyes and they look adorable. Three are the crabs, because they also have giant eyes and look pretty adorable. I mean, not as giant as the fish, but still pretty big, especially the clam. Never seen a clam with such big eyes before. No, never seen a clam with eyes before, to be honest, but everything in this level looks cute. But next to that, what you seriously need to look out for are, well, I decided to call them tentacle forests because I can't really see what else they are supposed to be. And once you get stuck in the tentacle forest, you will be a sad, sad panda because, you get stuck. You basically, there's a chance that you will be driving past one and it will go invisible because the game thinks you drove past it. And then you can't see it anymore, but you will still bump into it. Which can be really annoying, that you have absolutely no idea where to go and that you might be stuck in there for quite a while, and that actually costs quite a lot of health and time. Which, here we go. The tentacle forest, I really don't know what they're supposed to be, so maybe giant coral, but I'm going with tentacle forest because it sounds better. As you may have noticed, the progress bar almost goes up to 600, which is pretty much half the screen, so, long stages ahead of it, but yeah. Stage 4 has probably the shortest, well, stage 1 and 4 probably have the shortest stages in the game, and 2 and 3 are ridiculously long. It is absolutely insane compared to some of the stages, so, yeah, give it some time. Okay. Sometimes you will also have, like, turns that you can't really see where you have to go, and in those cases, the arrow kinda works, but it's still ridiculously difficult to actually navigate using it, because it seems to turn around at random at times, which is really quite strange indeed. I think it might actually just be a compass. I might be completely wrong with saying it navigates anywhere. I mean, I just kind of use a gut instinct myself, but I think that thing is supposed to point at the stage, sort of. But it might just be me. As you can see, we're no longer at never happened. As you can see, we no longer have 42 seconds, we just have 37 now. And I think it decreases by like 1 second after each stage, so... I don't think I've ever had a racing game where I had so many game mechanics to talk about, and it still was so ridiculously bad. I mean, this game has actually become pretty rare to find. I mean, it's on eBay, but the prices for it are absolutely insane. I might find out how much it costs, but it really isn't worth the money. It definitely has a collector's value, because this is, as I said, the only game that Zero Rex, or whatever the name was, has ever made. After that, they probably went bankrupt. And yeah, it's hard to find. There weren't a lot of copies of this game. And, well, for good reasons, it's kind of hard to play, so, yeah. And for all the wrong reasons. But yeah, once you get used to the controls, as I said before, it's really not that difficult, except for stage 3, which you will be seeing later. Mostly, this isn't very difficult because of the very poor collision detection, which is something I'm going to be ranting about a lot during this playthrough, but oh well. Gotta talk about something when you're in the middle of the ocean and fish with giant eyes are blocking your path, right? Gotta love those fish. Those fish really are the cutest thing in this entire game. Those fish are the reason why you should get this game and play it. Yes, definitely. It will be glorious because you can hug the fish and they'll be all, yo, you hugged me. That makes me so happy. And they'll be all, and you'll be like, yeah, I hugged the fish, man. Yeah. And then all your friends will think you're weird for playing this game. But still, in the end, what's important is that you have fun, that you get to hug a fish, and happy times must ensue. I wish this game had more penguins, though. I mean, it never happened. The only penguin you really see in this game is the one on the side of Propeller's... well, Propeller, really. So, yeah, that's kind of a shame. I actually only noticed it at like the 5th test run, because good god, this game had a lot of test runs. It's really hard to get this game to work at all, and then to record it is a different chore altogether. And if you didn't notice it, there were some clams down there, and they had ridiculously big eyes, and they look adorable. You should scroll back if you didn't see them, because they were adorable. And this is one of those games where the brake button actually is very convenient, because the turns get way too sharp to actually take normally with this character, and with pretty much all the other characters too, so yeah. Somehow the AI manages to take some turns pretty sharp, but I'm nearly certain that they never actually drive at full speed, considering the huge difference between me and the character I'm racing against right now, so yeah, I don't know what the point of that AI really is. It's really quite bad when you think about it. I mean, the little things that kind of drive around are pretty much faster than the AI, so but that's just me being ranty at the moment. Bubbles on the side, and we should make it to the goal. I believe this goal is actually pretty much behind the mountain, so you kind of have to be careful with that one. Since it's pretty easy to miss if you, well, yeah. That's what I mean. You really pretty much need to know that it's there with this one, because you might just zoom past it ridiculously fast, and then you might have a problem, which would be sad indeed.